Greenland, the world's largest island, occupies a unique and increasingly strategic position in global geopolitics. Though geographically part of North America, it is politically linked to Europe through the Kingdom of Denmark. In recent years, especially after former U.S. President Donald Trump openly expressed interest in acquiring Greenland, the question has arisen: could Europe defend Greenland against the United States if a serious confrontation occurred? The short answer is no. Not because of legal weakness, but due to overwhelming asymmetries in military power, geography, alliances, and political realities. This article explains why Europe would be unable to defend Greenland against the USA. 1. Geographic reality favors the United States. Geography is the most decisive factor in any military conflict, and Greenland's location heavily favors the United States. Greenland lies between North America and Europe, but it is far closer, both geographically and logistically, to the U.S. mainland than to continental Europe. The eastern coast of Canada is only a short distance away, whereas European reinforcements would have to cross the entire Atlantic Ocean. The United States already dominates the North Atlantic sea lanes and airspace. In a crisis, U.S. naval and air forces could reach Greenland in hours or days, while European forces would face immense logistical delays. Distance increases vulnerability. Supply lines from Europe would be long, exposed, and difficult to sustain, making any prolonged defense extremely challenging. 2. Existing U.S. military presence in Greenland. The United States already has a military foothold in Greenland through Patuxent Space Base, formerly Thule Air Base. This base is a cornerstone of U.S. missile defense and early warning systems, particularly against Russian intercontinental ballistic missiles. It hosts radar systems, space surveillance assets, and U.S. personnel year-round. This presence gives the U.S. a major strategic advantage. In any hypothetical conflict, the U.S. would not be starting from outside Greenland, it would already be inside it. Europe, by contrast, has no comparable permanent military infrastructure on the island. Defending territory against a power that already controls key strategic sites is vastly more difficult than defending an untouched area. 3. Overwhelming U.S. military superiority. The disparity in military power between the United States and Europe is stark. The U.S. defense budget is larger than the combined military spending of most European countries. It possesses unmatched capabilities in aircraft carriers and naval power projection, long-range bombers and air superiority, space, cyber, and intelligence warfare, rapid deployment and logistics. Even NATO as a whole relies heavily on U.S. assets for intelligence, airlift, missile defense, and command and control. Without U.S. participation, European militaries would struggle to coordinate large-scale operations far from their home territories. Against the U.S. itself, European forces would be outmatched in every domain: land, sea, air, space, and cyber. 4. NATO paradox: allies cannot fight each other. Perhaps the most important political reason Europe cannot defend Greenland against the U.S. is that they are allies. Denmark, Greenland's sovereign power, and the United States are both members of NATO. NATO is built on collective defense, not internal conflict. Article 5 applies against external threats, not against fellow members. In reality, there is no legal, political, or institutional mechanism within NATO for Europe to militarily oppose the United States. Any attempt to do so would collapse the alliance itself. European security is deeply dependent on NATO, and by extension, on U.S. leadership. Challenging the U.S. militarily over Greenland would be equivalent to Europe undermining its own defense system. 5. Denmark's limited military capacity. While Greenland belongs to the Kingdom of Denmark, Denmark's military capacity is limited. It maintains a small but professional armed force designed primarily for homeland defense and NATO missions, not for resisting a superpower. Denmark has minimal Arctic-capable forces, few naval assets suitable for sustained Arctic operations, and no ability to defend Greenland independently. Europe could theoretically come to Denmark's aid, but such support would be symbolic rather than decisive. No European country has both the political will and the military capacity to confront the US directly over Greenland. 6. Political will is absent in Europe. Military capability is meaningless without political will. European governments are highly unlikely to risk economic, diplomatic, and security catastrophe by opposing the United States. The US is Europe's largest security partner, a major trading partner, and a central pillar of the global financial system. Any confrontation with Washington would have enormous consequences. Sanctions, trade disruptions, intelligence breakdowns, and the weakening of Europe's deterrence against Russia. For most European leaders, Greenland does not justify such risks. Even if Europe could attempt a defense, it would almost certainly choose not to. 7. Greenland's strategic importance to the U.S. From the American perspective, Greenland is not merely a territorial issue, it is a strategic necessity. It is critical for missile early warning systems, Arctic and North Atlantic control, monitoring Russian military activity, space and satellite operations. As Arctic ice melts, Greenland's importance will only grow. The U.S. would view any attempt to exclude it from Greenland as a direct threat to national security. This would dramatically raise the stakes and justify overwhelming force in American strategic thinking. 8. Greenlandic autonomy and local realities. Greenland enjoys extensive self-rule, and its population is small, around 56,000 people. It lacks the manpower, infrastructure, or political desire to become a battleground between major powers. Many Greenlanders already view the U.S. presence as a fact of life, if not a necessity for economic and security reasons. Without strong local resistance, European defense efforts would lack legitimacy and effectiveness. Territorial defense is far harder when the local population is neutral or ambivalent. Europe cannot defend Greenland against the United States due to a combination of geography, military imbalance, alliance politics, and strategic reality. The U.S. is closer, stronger, already present, and indispensable to European security itself. Any attempt by Europe to militarily oppose the U.S. over Greenland would be unrealistic and self-destructive. Ultimately, the Greenland question is not about conquest or invasion, but about power hierarchies in the international system. The United States is the dominant Arctic and Atlantic power, and Europe, despite its economic strength, lacks the unity, capability, and will to challenge that dominance. Greenland's future will therefore be shaped not by European defense, but by negotiation, diplomacy, and the evolving strategic priorities of the United States.